The latest tech,
I'm Alexa. I can answer your questions.
interviews,
And we are evolving, and we are seeing an amazing opportunity that is happening.
accessibility.
Accessibility is one of our core values.
This is Double Tap TV.
Welcome to Double Tap TV. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We've got an awesome show lined up for you today. Before we dive in, I wanted to thank you for the steady stream of emails and texts and even voicemails we've been getting, thanks to Double Tap Canada being live now. Keep them coming. The email address is feedback@doubletap.online. On Twitter, we are at Double Tap Canada. I am Marc, joined every week by Stephen Scott. Stephen, we're talking all things headphones today, a topic that you at home and you and I have been bugging us to talk about. Stephen, before we talk about specific brands and models that we're into these days, I think it's important to describe some of the language that people actually use when it comes to headphones. So I had an idea. Let's do some rapid fire fun here. I'm going to throw out a term, a headphone related term, and you fire back with the explanation. Okay?
Oh, this sounds like homework.
It is homework, and I think you'll ace this, no problem. And if you have some headphones there, which I know you do, we could even demonstrate a little bit of what these mean. Okay, you ready?
Right. Okay, go for it.
Okay, over-the-ear headphones.
Oh, that's an easy one. So these are headphones you put over your head, and they clamp onto your ear. Now, what's wonderful is lots of different types of these. Some of them have closed back or open ear. And what's wonderful is, and I can put these on right now, and it means I don't have to listen to Marc anymore. They go right over my ears and completely block out the sound, which is great for commuting, great for long journeys, great for in the home if you want to just relax with a book and not hear the kids.
Okay, so you ready for the next one?
Go on then.
On-ear headphones.
On-ear headphones. What did you say at first? Have I screwed this up?
I said over the ear. No, you got this right. On ear. You see, this is where it gets really confusing for people. So I'm going to reach down on my tickle trunk here. Okay, over the ear. Okay, they go around the actual ear. So it's going around your actual ear. So it's not sitting on top of your actual ear and pushing it against your head. Whereas on ear, as I pull these over here, on ear actually physically are a bit smaller, so they don't actually cup around your ear. They physically sit on your ear. They're normally a bit smaller, but they tend to make a little bit different of a seal, and these are the ones that people tend to complain about wearing for long periods of time because it's putting more pressure on your head. So you actually just failed that one.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everybody and my mother. I thought I'd screwed that up here. I was getting mixed up.
Okay, you've lost that one. So you're one of two. You're one of two. So are you ready for the next one? In-ear headphones.
In-ear headphones. So interestingly, I'm wearing a pair of these.
In-ear.
Yeah, I'm wearing a pair of these at the moment, actually. I've got the AirPods Pro in my ear as I speak to you. That's how I'm hearing you. And, it's pretty cool because they go right into your ear. And some people don't like these, Marc, because, they can maybe feel like they're blocking out sound. The AirPods Pro actually have this amazing ability to not do that. Of course, other brands are available, but ultimately these are ones that you do have to push into your ear to really enjoy the sound and get really good bass out of as well.
Okay, so you did pretty well in this show. You'd be prize-worthy, I think.
Wow.
3 out of 4 is not a bad score.
What's the prize?
I'm not telling you till the end of the show. I'm not revealing that. This is one of those cliffhangers. Okay, but here's where it gets more exciting because I'm going to see how well I know you. Okay, and there's a couple of styles that I think you're probably going to lean towards. So I'm going to take my best guess, and I'm going to say that you prefer over-the-ear headphones. And getting more specific, I'm going to say that you enjoy headphones that still let in a bit of that external sound. Am I right?
I think you would be absolutely bang on, yeah. That's exactly my style.
Yes!
Yeah, I think you'd be absolutely right on that. I mean, I like my in-ears, I do, but I must admit when I'm enjoying content or an audiobook or a podcast, I prefer something that sits around my head rather than right inside my ears. I don't want the content drilled into my brain. I just want it to be passively given to me, and that's what the over-ear offers.
Let's keep the conversation going. We're going to get into specific brands and models that, of course, we're testing out and we've got around us right here. But we're going to do that after we take a quick break. This is Double Tap TV with Marc and Stephen Scott. We'll be back in just a moment.
Love Double Tap TV? Listen to AMI Audio for Double Tap Canada every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for news and reviews on everything tech. This is Double Tap TV.
Welcome back. We are talking all things headphones here on Double Tap TV. If you've got an opinion, as I know you do, let us know. Our email address is feedback@doubletap.online, or you can send us a note on Twitter. It is @DoubleTapCanada. Marc and Stephen Scott with you as we are every week. Stephen, I know you've got a pretty interesting selection there of headphones. Where do we even start?
I honestly don't know. I've got so many pairs lying around here, and I want to show them all. I don't know if we'll have time, but shall I just dive right in here? Shall we dive in?
Let's dive into some different kinds, and we can go back and forth a bit, and we'll talk about the different ones we have.
Okay, well, I mentioned these in the last segment, and I want to bring them up again because these are, you are so right to say that when it comes to headphones, I am really, really into my over-ear. And these I just adore. I got them for the holidays one year. These are my Bose QC35s. Mark II, by the way. None of your Mark I rubbish around here. Mark II. These are gorgeous headphones, which have got that active noise cancellation built in. They also have, the ability to take calls. You can, still have your phone calls coming through. You'll still hear yourself coming through the built-in microphone. So you're not missing anything. But I've traveled on planes with these in the days you could, and the ability for it to cut out all of that background noise. And interestingly, there's a really cool feature here that a lot of people might not realize with active noise cancellation, and that is that because it zeroes out a lot of the frequencies that make up all that background noise, it leaves some of those frequencies behind. And on a flight to London once, I was actually able to hear a full argument between the couple behind me, and the full detail of the discussion they were having. They were having a ferocious argument, and I was able to hear it all without the plane noise, thanks to the Bose QC35s. Mark II.
You talk Mark II, and I have a similar pair of headphones here that actually look very similar to the Bose.
Okay.
And that's the Sennheiser PXC550 Mark II as well.
Oh, wow.
They've got this, what Sennheiser's always done is something interesting where they have this kind of twisting design on the actual pads themselves. So when they're twisted out, so it's almost like you can lie them flat on a table. If you can see that over here, you see the actual pads are fairly large. These are over the ear, so they actually go around your full ear. But when you twist them into the proper 90-degree angle so that they'll actually fit on your ears, that's when they actually turn on. So they've actually used that in their advantage as the on and off mechanism, which is really neat. The other thing they've done here, Stephen, is they've put switches and a couple buttons on the bottom so you can easily feel it tactilely. Is that a word, tactilely? You can feel it. They are Bluetooth. So they obviously pair with absolutely everything that you might have. And the other cool thing is the actual pads on the sides, on the outsides, they act as almost like a touchscreen, kind of like a touchpad area, where you can swipe up to raise the volume, swipe down to lower the volume. You can press and hold to answer a phone call or end a phone call. Of course, there's a microphone built in. You can also tap to start playing your music. And I wanted to bring them up because they're very similar to what you've got going over there.
Yeah, I mean, the Bose QC35s aren't quite as smart as that. They've still got the old, rocker buttons and still physical switches to work with. But you know what? I kind of like that. It's something quite nice about it, less things to go wrong. Another pair I want to show you, this is brand new from Sony. They come in this lovely little case, which is a little fabric case. You can open it up, and inside they have these new in-ear headphones. Now, what's cool about these, and this is one of the problems I have with the AirPods, and a lot of blind people are the same. When they fall out of your ear, they're gone forever. And that's a bit of a problem for us as blind people. They fall out, they've gone. And there are ways you can find them, don't get me wrong. You can use smart technology to find them, but at the same token, it's just a bit of a pain. What if you could have the benefits of AirPods, but if they fell out your ear, they wouldn't disappear off into the distance? Well, that's what Sony offer with these. So this has got a neck band that you just wear around your neck. It doesn't really do anything other than just sit there. It does have a few controls on it, and it has got the USB-C connection to charge. But then all you do is you have little cables that come off the sides of the neckband here, and you just put each of them into your ear. So you have to push them right into your ear to get the audio. And they are actually quite comfortable. Great sound, of course, being Sony, fantastic sound. But, say for example, you turn your head really quickly and they fall out, they don't go anywhere. They stay around your neck. And I think this is a fantastic little design from Sony, brand new.
I've got a set here from Bear Dynamic. Now, Bear Dynamic have been making, I first was introduced to them on the broadcast side of things, but they've been making audiophile grade headphones for a very long time. They're kind of similar to the Sennheisers in the way that the actual cups themselves turn 90 degrees for portability purposes. So it kind of lays flat so you can slide them into a bag, which is quite nice. They've gone for the on-ear style, so it's actually going to put pressure on your ear, but I find it pressure that's not too bad. Like, it doesn't actually strain your ear after a period of time. Very kind of rustic style. You've got brushed aluminum throughout the actual headphones, a nice padded top. You've got nice pads over the ears, and they look like little cups versus the Bose and the Sennheisers that go around your ear. These really do cup your ear. The cool thing about these is they also take advantage of the real estate on the sides as a touchpad, so you can control things like volume. Only one switch on these on the bottom of the right cup, and that's for powering on and pairing. These charge USB-C as well. But here's the cool part about these, and obviously because they charge, they are wireless. You don't have to use this wireless. You can actually take the included cable, which has a built-in inline microphone, and plug it into the bottom of the left side, and it becomes a wired set of headphones.
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier about wearing headphones on your face, and it is actually possible courtesy of Bose. Now, they've created Bose frames, which are audio sunglasses. And what they do is I'm actually wearing them as we speak. It's a pair of sunglasses, regular sunglasses, but in the arms of the glasses, they've actually put speakers that fire audio into your ear. Very clever. Bose have now updated this. They've got 3 new versions of the Bose frames available. You've got soprano, you've got tenor. The difference is really one is a more square design, one is a more rounded design. But they've also added a new edition called the tempo, and that's what I've got right here. I've got them and I've opened up the box here in advance of doing this because I wanted to test them out. Now, I have been, as I say, wearing my Bose frames on this show now for a while. You open this up and inside you have a cleaning cloth, you've got a USB-C cable. Interestingly, this is the only new pair of Bose frames that actually has a USB-C charging cable. The other ones go for a magnetic charging cable instead, which is not USB at all, which is interesting. These have got a lovely design. Now, Mark, you're going to tell me if I look good in these, all right? So you make the decision to whether or not I keep these or not. So I'm going to put them onto my head.
It's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure you're putting on you.
So this is me wearing them. Now, from the one thing I will say is these are definitely built for someone with, how can I put it, a smaller head. Narrower head, yeah. Let's go with that. Because, they're a bit tight on my head, to be honest. But when I turn them on, there's a little button, and there only is really one button on this, and that button is to activate them, to switch them on, to do the pairing, as you were saying with your headphones. And that's it. Once you've paired them, they're connected, and all the sound comes from the arm of the glasses. So both sides have got these fantastic down-firing speakers. Now, they don't... This isn't bone conduction. You've got to be aware of this. We might have heard of Aftershok's headphones where the sound is actually going in through the bones of your head, the side of your head. That's not the case with these. The actual sound is being fired down and into your ear.
This is Double Tap TV. Email us at feedback@doubletap.online or get in touch on Twitter. It is @DoubleTapCanada. Like Perry Bloom did. Perry reached out with this question, Stephen, that I thought was pretty fitting. Hey, Double Tap team, I've always wanted to try out custom molded headphones, but it seems the process is pretty intensive and intimidating. Can you explain what's involved and the benefits? Well, Perry, I believe we can. But rather than us talking about it, let's bring on an expert from a company whose products I've used for several years now, Stephen. So after the break, we'll talk to Ultimate Ears here on Double Tap TV.
For more great Double Tap TV content, visit ami.ca/doubletap. This is Double Tap TV.
Welcome back to Double Tap TV. Just before the break, I read a tweet from Perry Bloom all about custom molded headphones. Now, Stephen, have you had a chance to get yourself a pair of these?
No, I haven't, but these sound very interesting, Mark.
Well, you know what, Stephen? I have. And the company I chose to go with is Ultimate Ears. Ultimate Ears first developed the in-ear monitor over 20 years ago, and for none other than Alex Van Halen, when his monitor engineer, that's the guy who actually handles what he hears on stage, wanted to protect his hearing. So fast forward to today, an Ultimate Ears Pro, they've graduated from the product that continues to be the brand of choice for touring musicians to a line of in-ear monitors that continues to evolve and becomes an option for everyday people, not just touring musicians. Joining us now is the Vice President of Ultimate Ears Pro, Philippe Despalin. Philippe, thank you for being here and talking all things Ultimate Ears Pro.
Marc, thank you very much for having me. I'm super excited to talk to you today.
Philippe, I've given the audience a brief history of the company, but I think it's important to explain what sets custom in-ear monitors apart from everyday headphones.
So the number one, you actually said it in the word, is the fact they are custom made. What does that mean? It means that we build a product that is perfectly fitted to the size of your ears. And so how do we do that? We actually take an ear impression of your ears, the exact shape and form of your ears. And from that impression, we create an exact replica, which becomes the shell that you're going to have inside your ear. Then we populate that shell with all the components, the drivers that make the product sound so good. That is the major difference between the two.
Ultimate Ears has several different models and various price points. So if you were to put the UE5 Pro, for example, which has 2 drivers, up against the UE18 Plus or the UE Live, for example, how does someone make that distinction? And how does someone actually choose what works best for them?
So it always starts with your personal preferences. And so usually the way we do it, if we go to a trade show or if you visit us or if you go to one of our dealers, we have demo models that allows you to experience the difference in sound. Very often, when you come to us, you play a certain instrument, and so we guide you through this process. So let's just say, for the sake of discussion, Marc, you say, I play guitar. And so in this case, we say, usually guitar player start with the UE7. The reason for that, it has beautiful mids, it is very nice and loud, so you can hear yourself very clearly on stage. Now, if you're a drummer, for instance, the UE11 is more suited for you because it's got a bit more punchy lows. It gives you a little bit more of that energy coming directly from the drivers. And so the customer usually goes to that journey and tests the product. Now, of course, the difference in price also dictates the type of experience you're going to get. The higher the price point, the more drivers we have inside the device, and therefore the more we can curve a very precise and pristine sound signature out of the product. So your investment also defines ultimately the sound quality you're going to get out of the product.
You know, Philippe, I went down this road because I'm an audio guy, I'm doing audio production, and I wanted to protect my hearing. That was the real benefit that led me down the road, was protecting my hearing. So how does the design of the custom in-ears actually protect hearing?
Yeah, we just have to be very careful because the in-ear monitors themselves don't protect your hearing. It's the way you use them that protects your hearing. So if you're a musician and you play on stage, you will have monitors that are actually most of the time extremely loud, and you have no control on how loud these are, and therefore that's usually when you end up with hearing damage. With an in-ear monitor, it actually fits so well inside your ear that it isolates you at least 25 dBs from that noise from that stage, and therefore at this point you can listen to what's coming from your in-ears at much lower volume. Because now you have full control over that, you are in charge and responsible, if you will, to define whether you want to damage your ear or not. Now, if you go full blast for 10 hours, you're still going to damage your ears. But the big difference is you are in charge of defining this. And most of the people use the product properly and therefore listen to it at the right volume.
Philippe, the process of getting in-ears when I first got into this game was going to an audiologist, making an appointment, spending the money to get physical molds done, and then sending it in to you guys to actually make the headphones. Now, fast forward, that's since advanced in many aspects. So I'm wondering what some of the other ways that people can actually get their ears scanned to make their custom in-ear monitors.
Yeah, so that was one of the major innovation driver that we embraced as a team, if you will, because that journey is relatively painful. Most of us are used to go to a store, buy a product from a peg, go home and enjoy it immediately. In our case, you have to, as your first step, get that ear impression. So the first thing that we did is we actually worked with a company that had a laser scanner, which allowed no longer an audiologist to take your impression, but anybody, member of my sales team, stores, anybody around the world could end up with that scanner and scan that ear within 5 to 10 minutes. And then later on, the second piece that is awesome about this laser is it gives us a digital impression, which means that instead of you having to go physically to the post office and mail it to us, which can take 3 to 5 days, within a fraction of a second, you send us that ear impression, and we can start the manufacturing process. Recently, we even innovated even furthermore, because you still had to find somebody that was capable of using that scanner and able to scan your ear. So we acquired a company that had the ability to form a tip in the comfort of your home. And we actually acquired this company, not only because of the beautiful product they created, but what we realized is by having that tip inside your ear sent back to us, we were able to scan that tip and create an in-ear monitor that was as comfortable as the one that we did either through the audiologist or through the scanner. So now with our technology, we call it the UE Fit Kit. When you order a product, we ship you a fit kit. You in the comfort right now, Marc, in your studio, you can scan your ear. It takes about a minute and a half via a very simple iPhone app. You ship that back to us and we can immediately start the process.
Philippe, you gave me a perfect segue here, because what I wanted to dive into was exactly that, the technology and more importantly, the technological innovations and how you use those technological innovations in other places within the company. Because when I look at a company like Ultimate Ears Pro, we can see that the tech has turned into UE CSX or the at-home fit kit, which skips the audiologist and lets people do everything at home. And most recently, UE Fit, which takes that molding technology and puts it right in the finished product itself, so people can be enjoying their customs immediately. So my question, I guess, is how important has it been to leverage that Ultimate Ears Pro technology across the entire UE line?
It has been, if you will, our Formula One, right? If you look at car companies, they always have the super high-end models where they test all the technology and then over the years, slowly but surely, bring it down to lower cost model. We apply exactly the same idea. We put the best of our technology in the top of the line product, and then slowly but surely, we bring it down in simplicity, in cost, and of course, making it a lot more accessible by customers.
Philippe, before I let you go, I got to ask you one question, especially for those people that are listening or watching and that think that custom fit is something that's still unattainable or they're intimidated by the process. What do you tell those people?
So it's interesting because if you look at the price of a good pair of headphones or earphone, it's actually very close to the price of an in-ear. But none of these are actually yours and yours only. And so if you think about buying something that's going to actually be your product and yours only, and you want to have pristine sound in a way that is still very affordable, because at $499, you only maybe $100 more than a decent pair of headphones. But in this case, you end up with a tool that you can use if you're a performer, you can use it if you're a creator or in a studio, and you can also use it just if you want to enjoy music. I fly with my in-ear monitors all the time. They isolate me from the noise around in the plane. I can listen to my music. I can listen to movies. And as you know, we've also added the ability to have Bluetooth. So we have sort of the best of all world, if you will, with the in-ear monitors, because you get that great sound, you get a small form factor, and you get the isolation and also the versatility or the flexibility to connect to anything, whether it's to play on stage, to record in a studio, or just listen to some music from your smartphone.
Philippe Despalain, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. If you guys at home are interested in learning more about Ultimate Ears, obviously go to ultimateears.com. And the custom line and the pro line, if you go to custom.ultimateears.com, you could find out all the information about that. Stephen, it's just about time for you to get your own in-ear monitors, so I'm going to send you to that link right away. And obviously, thank you for being here, and thank all of you guys at home for joining us this week on this edition of Double Tap TV. On behalf of Stephen Scott, I am Marc Aflalo. We will speak to you again next week.
For more great Double Tap TV content, visit ami.ca/doubletap. Hosted by Marc Aflalo and Stephen Scott. Editing Will Attar. Production assistants Wendy Kaufman. Content review Zachary Aflalo. Voiceover Anna Vicino. Integrated Described Video Specialist Ron Rickford. Coordinating Producer Jennifer Johnson. Director Production Kara Nye. Director Programming Brian Perdue. VP Content Development and Programming John Melville. President and CEO David Arrington. Copyright 2020 Accessible Media Inc.